Margaret Miller Challenge, week 18. Boy. Okay, so what have we got this week? We've got something that emits heat. We've got a path or road, something that splashes, white space, a form, blank or filled, and bonus is a ticket. So for something that emits heat, I've got this. I love this. It's like a tarot card. It's really big though. Don't know where I got it. A path or road. So I just cut out the name of a road, Tewkesbury Road. Hope you can see that. Something that splashes. So from an Edith Holden book, I've got a frog. So he will do some splashing. White space, I've got this, a formal blank or filled and white space, both on here. It's, was ripped out of an old, library book. Whoops, ripped that bit off as well. And then bonus is a ticket. So I do have these two stickers, which are kind of like a ticket. There, two of them. So I may have to use those, don't know. I've also got a couple of stamps, I don't know, just to fill in and see how I go. Anyway, let's get started. How's everybody going? Slowing down and enjoying the process. You might be able to hear in the background, it's pouring with rain today. Just the way I like it. So a hi to Lee from Lee Creates, because she made a comment on my YouTube last week that she's worried about my candles in case I set the house on fire. And it's so funny because that's what my husband said as well. So anyway, I'm playing nice and safely. I just thought I'd say that. That's funny. You made me laugh when I saw it. Let's move those out the way and get started with today. So, something that emits heat. I've got this like giant card, tarot card. It is massive. So obviously I'll have to cut some of that off, although I don't really want to cut it, but I'll have to, so that's fine. A path or road. So like I said, I just cut out the name of a road because I looked everywhere for a picture of a road and they didn't sort of fit and I didn't know what to do. So suddenly saw that when I was flicking through some pages for something else and I saw Tewkesbury Road written there, so I just thought, well, I'll use that. Something that splashes, like I said, I've got my frogs from Edith Holden, which makes a nice contrast. And what I'm liking is the fact that we've got the round sun and then we've got the round on the Edith Holden as well. So I think that's going to work quite well. White space and a form, blank or filled. So I've got this old library piece and I think that will fit quite nicely just behind there. And that will fill that prompt. And then a bonus, a ticket. Not sure if I'm going to use that. So we'll have to just wait and see if I need them to sort of go over the edges or something. Yep. So let's get started. And first of all, I've got to cut that down. I would like to leave, I think, the top part because it's got some interesting writing and it adds interest to the collage. So I think I will do that, leave that on. And I'm also liking that it says the State Library up there. So I think I need to sort of get this cut. Maybe I want to leave all of the sun part on. Yeah, I think I'll cut it just below where the last bits of the sun come out. Or rip it. Actually, just to be a little bit longer. About there. And that piece there can be reused anyway. There we go. Can you reuse that for something? So that's my first part there, kind of the base. And if I take it right down to the bottom, that's going to allow me to put him up there to echo the circles. So I quite like that. And then I've got my State Library. I don't actually want to see that. We can see that it's not filled in. That fills the prompt. And really I just want it sort of sticking out. like that. And then I've got my Tewkesbury Road, so that can sort of go under there as well. So in fact we're not going to see much of the white public library, but that's okay. That is absolutely perfectly fine. Now I also had a couple of stamps, which that's ducks, so they splash as well, but I've got my big frog, so I don't think I'm going to use the ducks as well. But I do have this little stamp here, which might be a nice filler, just underneath here. Maybe like that. And then I've also got my bonus, which are the tickets, or a ticket, but I guess I could use two. So if I don't use the stamp, maybe I could use a couple of these like that, something like that. So I'm really liking this illustration. I think that is absolutely gorgeous. Let's pop our prompts over here like we normally do so that we know what we're doing. I don't have to keep looking to the side to see what I'm talking about. All right, let me get some glue. I think a glue stick is going to be fine. This is a little bit thicker, but I think it's going to stick down fine with a glue stick. And what I thought I might do is outline this, or yeah, I don't know, maybe some ink, not sure. Let me see what I think I'm going to do about that. So the first thing to get stuck down would be the white space, and a form blank or filled, I think, will be the first thing to go around about there. So I can just use a glue stick for that. Sorry about the shadows today. It's very windy, overcast, and I do have a light, a ring light, but it's not really giving much help today. So I hope it will be light enough. I think it will be. I did kind of check that first. How'd everybody go for Anzac Day? Did you attend any services? We were all set to go this morning, and then my son rang last night and said that he was really sick and didn't want to stand out in the rain. He was coughing and spluttering and such, so we didn't end up going, which it's not good. We had all intentions of going. My sister went out onto her driveway with her candle at dawn, and the sprinklers came on where she lived and she got soaked, poor thing. Sorry, Ange, if you're watching. Didn't really mean to laugh at you, but I just found it a little bit funny. All right, let's maybe distress around that Edith Holden pick to start with, just with some distress ink. Now, talking of Tim Holtz, did you see that Louisa Heinzel's been accepted to go onto his team as one of the people that do all the designing and stuff? Wow. I mean, her stuff is fantastic. I was so happy for her. I don't know if you watch Louisa Heinzel's channel, but she's fabulous. Like, some of the stuff she comes up with, goodness gracious me, you wonder, her brain works different to a lot of us, I guess. So yeah, I'm wondering if I can do something else on there, so that's fine. Let me just think a little bit more about that. Just give this a little bit of, well, it is old. It's a very old poetry book that I think it belonged to my grandpa, actually. I have a lot of things that have been sitting here for a month of Sundays, and then I sort them all out and think, right, I'm going to use that. And, you know, a lot of people don't like using old books to do art and stuff, but I think they're better off being used, like by me now, because they've sat on his shelves for, I don't know, 90 years or something. They belong to his father. He never used them, and then what's happened is they've been handed on to us as family, and they're not getting used again, and it just seems silly, doesn't it? So I've started cutting things up and using them, because better to use them in art than they end up in landfill, is my personal opinion. Let me know what you think. But yeah, that's what I think. I think it's just much better to use these things than not. So I'm thinking bring that right down to the bottom here. Yeah, I like how that looks. That's looking good. Alright, we can get that stuck down. So I think the others, hang on a minute, where does Tewkesbury Road go? That might have been under there as well, was it? That might have to go in first, hey? Getting ahead of myself, yapping away. I think a little bit of the writing is nice as well. And I think when I first did it, I moved that library up there, didn't I? Anyway, it's stuck down now, but Tewkesbury Road, I think that will be fine there. Don't really want it level with the bottom. Yep, alright, so we'll get that stuck down first. Let's just see where. So it says Tewkesbury Road, it's good to be out on the road, so that might be nice to leave that line in as well. And going one knows not where, so I think that's quite nice. So if I move it so that it's just inside that line there, I think that will work out just about perfect. So let's do that. So I sold another one of my journals today on Etsy, which I'm pretty happy with. They don't seem to be sitting very long when they go up. So that's nice. And if you're watching, thank you for that. I haven't yet answered, I just saw the message come up. I'll just pull that out so that it looks a little bit less than perfect. Quite like that, that's good. Get rid of the glue that was under there now. All right, next thing is my little sunshine man. I think it's a man. Looks far too grumpy to be one of us ladies, doesn't it? All right, stick that one down now. So yeah, really made me think about the men that have gone before me. None of the ladies have been in the armed forces, but all the men have. On my husband's side, my husband's father was in the Highland Light Infantry, and my husband's a little bit older than me, and his father was in World War One, and he was in the Battle of the Somme. So all in all, my husband is very fortunate to be here because, as we all know, one of the most bloody battles in history, and not many came out of there alive. So yeah, an extraordinary man. So many stories of him, things he saw, and yeah, just awful. But my own grandfather helped to liberate a concentration camp at the end of the war, and he wrote about that, and oh goodness me, you guys, just absolutely horrendous, you know, absolutely horrendous. They were such young guys, these guys, you know. My grandfather was what, 23, 24, 25, wasn't old at all, and there they were, seeing the most horrific things none of us should ever have to witness, see, think about. Yeah, just terrible. Yeah, that's good. All right, now we've got this. Now I'm thinking I've got a embossing pen, and I've got some embossing powders here. Sorry for not talking and finishing my sentence. Embossing powders. And I'm thinking maybe this one or this one. I think the black will be too dark. Let me sit back down. So I think I'm going to grab another bag to do it on so that I don't get it all over here. Okay, so I had a little tester. The white is far too light. It's going to have to be this one. All right, so what I thought I would do is only do the frog, because that's the thing that's splashing. So let's just do him. It's like magic, this stuff, isn't it? All right. Let's see whether I've caught it all. Looks like I might have. Let's dry it off. And watch the magic. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. And there you have it, look, a shiny frog. Very cool. All right, so I think that will be quite cool to do that. And I might do these two as well. I might just go around the edge here, just to highlight the outline of the frog. And his feet. Just so he still looks like a frog. On the bits where it's a bit hard to see. That's a bit better. All right. So I'm not sure whether to do all of them or just leave just him. Maybe just him. Let's bring the book back across and have a look. See what I think. Move this out of the way. Bring this here. And I'm thinking this needs to go up here. And that will kind of reflect the circle here and the circle there, which I think looks really nice. So he does still look like a frog, but it is a little bit hard to see the outlines and stuff. So I'm not sure about doing these in case it just ends up a big mess. Oh, what I didn't notice, there's loads of frogs. There's one there, and they're all in the pool as well. Look, can you see them all, their little faces? Yeah, I think he looks all right. I might just leave him just like he is and then just leave the others plain. All right. Yeah, that's what I might do. I don't want to totally muck it up, and the others look good as they are. All right, let's get that stuck down. So I'm thinking, so we don't want to hide the Tewkesbury Road. We've still got our white paper here, our white space. So I'm thinking somewhere there, I think. So let's get that stuck down now as well. Absolutely pouring here today. So I'm filming this on Anzac Day. I guess you've worked that out. which is the 25th. So I do try and film these a little bit ahead of time, so that I'm not getting up on that Monday morning and thinking, oh my goodness, I have to film that today, because that's not good. It can make you a bit stressed, especially if the upload doesn't work straight away, or there's always something with YouTube. Yeah, I like that. So the circle and the circle, and he's got a little bit of embossing powder on him. I really like that colour actually, it's like a bronze. It's pretty cool. You see him? So something that emits heat is the sun, and then he is something that splashes, and there's lots of other little froggies there. So that is quite cute. See if you can just give some of them a little bit more outline, just to make them stand out a little bit better. Edith Holden illustrations are absolutely beautiful, aren't they? Oh, I just love them. She really had a talent for capturing how it is. I think it just makes them stand out just a little bit better. So funny, it looks like they're smiling. That just outlines them a little bit better, but I'll bring it up close to show you in a minute when I'm finished anyway. All right, now what do we think about putting our stamps on? So I do have this stamp, which is always quite nice, but the ones that we need to get on are bonus tickets. So I have used everything. I don't really need the bonuses. I'm just thinking, do I want them on there anyway? And they do look nice, especially the circle here, and that's sort of an oval, just to tie everything in. So maybe I will put them on there. I think you're only supposed to use the bonus if you don't have one of the other things. I think that's technically how it works, but I don't suppose it matters, does it? There we are. That one up there. Yeah, I like that. I don't think this one needs to go down here. I think it's too much. I think we've got the circle of the sun, and then we've got the circle with our frog in it. Feels like copper, that does. Looks like it too. And, you know, we've got our other elements everywhere, so we don't need to worry too much, but these circles just sort of accentuate what we've got going on. Okay, good. Now, I might need something here, a stamp or something there and there, just to tie everything in, I think. And I'm not sure about splashes of paint this week, so I'm thinking a stamp and a stamp. So let me go hunt through my stamps and see what I think I can use. Right, so I've got two stamps. I've got quite a wide one, which is probably going to be too wide, and I'm going to end up with ink everywhere. And then I've got this little narrow one, which I think will look quite nice there and quite nice there. So I'm going to go with that. Now, do I use a brown ink or a black? I think the black, just to give a little bit of variation. These are just stamps from, I think, Kaisercraft. I think they were from. Like this. Turn this around. And I think I'll have it going right the way over. And here, just to tie those in. It doesn't say anything particular. I think it's just a script. Yep, I think that looks great. And I'm going to turn this one around, so I might put some more ink on. I always end up with that ink everywhere, all over my hands and everything. Don't know what you'll like with ink. I usually end up with it down the side of my hand like that. And I don't realise, and then I've filmed, and then I look back on it and I think, oh my goodness, look, I've got ink everywhere. Yep, happy with that. That looks really nice. Okay, so I think I'm not going to fiddle with it anymore, and I'm not going to do paint splatters today. Oh, okay, maybe I'll fiddle with it just a little bit more, because you know how it is. I absolutely love the rain. I love it when it's raining and I can hear it outside. Makes me feel, I don't know, safe. I think it's because I was born in England, and when I hear the rain I think it makes me think of my homeland, which I do miss at times. Definitely a little British girl. There we go. I'm going to call it done. I'm going to call it, guys. That to me is done today. So let me see if I can bring it up to you. So there's my something that emits heat, is my sun on my tarot card, which is really quite cool. A path or road, so we've got Tewkesbury Road, which is the name of a poem. That's what that was from. Something that splashes, we've got a frog, which we did with, let's see if we can get him, there we go, embossing powder. He looks quite cool in that coppery colour. And white space and a form blank or filled was my library card, or the insert out of a library book here. You can hardly see it now, but it's definitely there. And then bonus was a ticket, and I ended up using both of them, one there and one there. And I'm quite happy with how they look. So, yep, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, please do. That would really help. And I'll see you next week. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.